Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, the lead singer of the Mighty Crabjoys. It's Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, buddy. I hope you are. I'm ready to rock and roll tonight, man.
Yeah, so am I, man. Like, huge movie weekend for both of us. We're both comic book guys. We're both superhero guys. We're into the Marvel DC stuff, so we're always going to cover these big movies. But this one felt even bigger, not only because of just like the noise around it and the implications of like, if it makes a lot of money, it means this. If it makes a little money, it means this. And here we are, man. It was probably, what do we say, number one or number two in our most anticipated? Was it number one?
It was number one, yeah.
I think it was either that or Final Reckoning.
It was 1-2, but I want to say it was 1.
Yeah. And I will bring up Final Reckoning, I think, in this conversation, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, because we're probably going to see another huge summer blockbuster. Shane saw Superman, the movie that we are going to cover this week. He saw it twice, and I immediately was like, he is having a Hawk Girl summer. That guy is all over this movie. He's going to see it all summer long. He's, just super into this movie. We shall see if that is the case. I know the general public definitely feels very positive about Superman. 4.0 letterbox, Shane. That is
strong.
Elite level. That is only second, I think, into all the movies I watched this year. It's only second to Sinners. I think I dug through the crates on that one. I think that is accurate. 7.7 IMDb, 68 Metascore. This movie made $217 million worldwide, which I was like, especially because everywhere I went, it seemed to be pretty full. Everyone I knew seemed to have seen the movie, and there was a huge buzz around it. The 122 domestic is a really good number. I think that's actually maybe the best opening weekend, especially like a 3-day opener of the year so far. But 96, right? No, 95 internationally. That, it bombed in China. It did like single digits, like low single digits. So that is bad. But again, like I partially think I'm like, man, is this like a symbol of Americanism that is, it's going to struggle internationally because it's that character? But I'm interested to see if that's how this is going to go forward. But it opened up in quite a big amount of markets, and that 217 is not the 300 and change Jurassic did the week before. So
I was surprised by that too.
I was quite shocked by that too. But again, like, did you see some of the stuff on Twitter where it was like Superman is a soy boy and all this like total like, Democrat, liberal freak out stuff from the other side and, all that, where I'm like, I don't know, maybe that bleeds out internationally too, but I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know is that when your trailer has Superman stopping a global war, in the trenches, that might signal something a little bit tough in certain markets. So we shall see. That'll be a continuing story, something for us to keep our eyes on. This one is written, directed by James Gunn, the new person at the helm, not only for this franchise, but also for the DCU, right? Because the previous one was DCEU.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah. Can't wait till somebody takes it over again, them trying to do backflips to call it something else again. This is, I guess, loosely based on All-Star Superman. I hear that a lot when I was reading the coverage for it. This stars David Cornsweet as Clark Kent, a.k.a. Superman. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Skylar Gisondo, who was Jimmy Olsen in here. Love the crap out of that guy. You're a psych guy, right?
Yeah.
That's like young Sean Spencer too.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I've loved that guy for a long time. He was a great young Sean Spencer. So good to see him here. Nathan Fillion. I'm gonna get this guy's name wrong, and I should have looked it up.
Oh, I can't help you here, buddy.
I know. Eddie Gathagri.
Let's go
Pythagorean?
with it.
Sure.
Let's go with it.
Your girl, Isabella Merced, and your boy, Frank Grillo, amongst many others in this movie, Deep Cast. The plot reads, and I want to start here with the plot, Shane, because it's the one listed. I'm going to read it to you.
There's a plot.
Hear me out. The plot reads, Superman must reconcile his alien Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as reporter Clark Kent. As the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way, he soon finds himself in a world that views those as old-fashioned. One, that's not really a plot. Two, if somebody told me that was the plot to this movie, I might laugh. And I would say this movie, while I want to put out first before we get any kind of negative or get in too deep, I want to say that this movie has not one plot, not two plots, but at least 3, 4, 5 plots in this movie where it kind of gives this kaleidoscope effect of watching this movie to where it feels this is a lot of movie. Is basically what I would say. I'd almost say it's too much movie, especially for the runtime and without a kind of central theme. Are you on board with that? I mean, you literally just said, does this have a plot? So I'm sure maybe you could bite on that apple a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. It has a bunch of different themes that they try to tackle here. But we'll get to the end of the day, at the end of the movie, what the plot really is. And you're like, okay, like that's this whole thing was because one person just clearly didn't like another person. That's what this movie was about. Like,
yeah,
there are some themes that it oh my God. So I don't want to like jump into like negative on this movie off the bat, but like there are themes we'll talk about that I wish they would have explored more because I was interested in those themes.
Sure.
And I thought they glossed over them way too quickly to move on to some action piece or whatever the next set piece was without exploring that dynamic a little bit more.
Yeah, let's get serious and then let's go fight a kaiju. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly. It just tonally it was a little off. And I'm like, okay. So let's, for me, and I don't want to like steal stuff here, but like it was a fun movie. I liked it. It was entertaining. I think it's a good step forward. It's a good step forward. There are certain things that I just I did not care. And I don't know why you dubbed her my girl, but the whole Hawk Girl thing got on my last nerve. And I like hers.
We've talked about Isabella Merced a lot, it feels like, in the last year or two.
And we have.
Yeah, Last of Us, etc. Yeah.
But I did not care for that character at all. I guess we are going negative here. I didn't like the casting of Ma and Pa Kent. They annoyed me to no end, especially
I felt that
Kent.
It did nothing for me.
It did nothing for me. Again, let's get to Lex Luthor, who I thought Nicholas Hoult did a fine job, but I thought it came off as cartoony. I thought tonally they didn't know what to do because there's a scene where he has a prisoner and does something to him. You're like, whoa, that's a little kind of extreme for this kind of movie they're setting up.
Yeah.
It just... I wanted to see more of the Clark Kent, like Lois Lane aspect, and I felt like they sidelined Lois Lane a lot in this movie.
I thought so too.
And I wish they would have had more, because I thought they were good. Like that scene where she interviews him, I thought was a good scene.
Yeah.
And I liked their chemistry together. I wanted more of that, per se.
Especially because they kind of start a conversation that they don't really fully reconcile.
Exactly. And then we get all the social media bombing and the hate towards Superman. I just didn't feel that lasted long enough. They didn't let that breathe. They don't let
anything breathe. Everything is just, we're going to talk about something. We're going to maybe talk something big, and then it doesn't matter because 5 seconds later, we're going to go jump into a fight. We're going to go jump into whatever Lex Luthor is doing next or whatever. It's a lot. It's a lot of moving.
It's a lot. And again, I wish they would just let that whole subject matter breathe. I wanted to see him struggle with, people turning on him and then him trying to like kind of find himself and just all that. And they just didn't do it.
Yeah.
I do like how this movie started. We're done with, I like how he's 3 years into being Superman. I enjoyed that. Like, just not drop us right into it. I like how they made him seem vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because he lost his first battle. They say that in the whole beginning of the movie.
Yep.
it had some really high points, but at the end of the day, like, you know what annoyed me too is when you had the it's not so secret people, but Ultraman, like the whole 2A, 15B, 17Z. I got so enraged during those scenes. I'm like, it took me out. I'm like, are you fucking serious right now?
Right.
Like,
he's playing Battleship, or like I wanted to so I desperately want to make at least some meme of him either calling bingo or playing Battleship. Like so badly. Yeah.
I was thinking I sank your battleship throughout the whole thing. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I drank your milkshake.
And like, like, I know you want to make Superman the ultimate Boy Scout and stand for truth and justice, but did you really have to save a squirrel? Like, is that what we're stooping to?
Sure.
He saved the fucking squirrel.
Again,
like,
that's James Gunn quirkiness, and I'm gonna allow it. You know,
I'm not giving that a pass.
Well, the problem, and I don't want to cut you off. I know you're like in
go ahead.
Full thing. So. I had kind of two reads of this movie, and somehow I think I'm in between the two reads. So the two reads I kind of see here, and they can both be true, by the way, is Superman is constantly in peril in this movie and constantly gets bailed out, which makes him a weaker central character, and they don't give him they kind of push him and Lois Lane to the back a little bit, so it makes them kind of like the least interesting thing about the movie for long stretches, if not in totality. Or James Gunn is incredibly smart because making a movie that's tons of fun with supporting characters, because Superman with his incredible powers and strong moral fiber, all that stuff, can be a tad boring for modern audiences. So instead, he just basically surrounded him with guys like wonderful performances from Mr. Terrific, Jimmy Olsen, Crypto, Nathan Fillion as like the one probably Green Lantern I couldn't name. I know there's a million of them, but like not even the top two. He's like a lower tier to me, at least Green Lantern name that you have to pull out. So I don't know. Like, to me, I think both of these are kind of true, and they're kind of at war with each other in my brain. So that's a tough read on a 2-hour quick, fast-paced movie that I'm fighting between these two things to be like, I need more strong, upfront, powerful Superman, and I need those scenes to matter like a lot to make this movie a Superman movie. This is not Super Friends. This is not whatever. But I think the movie is more fun and succeeds more because those characters can be something that Superman isn't and have a lot more fun than he would. So I think the movie succeeds because of that choice too. So again, I'm just like at war with myself about it.
It's like you said, both are true. Both, I think it lies somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Because again, I do like the vulnerability of Superman, which he showed. Because what's the biggest knock on Superman? You can't do anything to him.
And I don't want to knock David Cornsweet either. I think he's a good Superman. I think the baseline of this movie is going to be good going forward. I just don't know how much of this movie. I hope it could be more focused next time. That's all.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I thought he played a good Superman and a Clark Kent. I do like that. But you're right. I think there are times where I thought Gunn made him too vulnerable. Like, I don't need to see Superman get his ass whooped for an hour and 45 minutes. Like, maybe, you know what I mean?
Like outside of the very, very end of this movie, I think he's just nonstop getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, pretty much.
Without some aid to like let him off the leash. Which
happened in every scene in this movie.
Every scene.
So, and I didn't know how I felt about Crypto at the beginning. I'm like, but
I was into Crypto.
I did. I at the end of the movie, I was into Crypto. Like, Crypto won me over.
I'm going to cut that out and put it on Reddit so you could be with your your crypto boys, your Bitcoin boys.
Yeah, Crypto won me over.
Yeah.
But the whole Lex Luthor thing just did not work for me in this movie at all. At the end of the day, him just being jealous of Superman. He even said it like, I did this war just because, I could, whatever. Then the whole intergalactic pocket fissure he made, I'm like, ugh.
My thing is, if you need those two monologues, one from Superman and one from Lex Luthor at the end of the movie, then you didn't sell that premise throughout the movie.
Right.
Because they really have to like stand on that and make it seem like it's an aha. Well, especially
Yeah.
for Luthor, not the Superman one as much, but
Right.
it's like, oh,
It goes,
he's trying to be human. Yeah, no, we got
Yeah.
that. It's Superman.
we got that. And again, you set it up at the beginning where these people started turning on him, and then all of a sudden, and people went to hating him right off the bat, right off the bat. And all of a sudden, once they dropped the news on Luthor, oh, he's back in everyone's good graces. It's like, come on, man. Like, can we have a little more time in that area?
The tough part for me was watching someone who literally was on the ground watching him do what he did to save people's lives and everything.
Yes.
And then because their phone went off and saw something, they're like, I don't know. It's like, what do you need? Like, even in this social media drenched world, I'm like, if I saw something with my own eyes and this guy's been around for years,
Yep.
what should I believe? And I know they're playing with that fact. I get it.
Right.
But that's a little far afield. But again, this is the struggle I have because I'm like, but I did have I had a good time. But I feel like the warts are obvious though. So, but to me, I want to say this to me. I want to say to me, and apparently, obviously, to you. I saw this movie with my girlfriend, and then my friend and his girlfriend was there too. We were talking after the movie. I was the asshole, so I'm willing to say that maybe I'm wrong. Again, 4.0 on Letterboxd. Maybe we're the assholes, but I just don't understand. Like, I asked the group, which is, again, maybe why I'm not fun at parties. I asked the group, I was like, just tell me what you think the plot is. Like, if you had to tell someone the plot, what's the plot of this movie? They couldn't do it.
No.
And I'm like, that's a problem. There's no central theme. If you told me the central theme was something in like how they were kind of trying to word it in this plot synopsis, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that. I wanted, I wanted almost that more traditional structure of like, give me a flashback with a line from Mom and Pa Kent, get them the fuck out of the way, so that way they're not in the rest of this movie.
Oh, God.
And then have that central core conversation be like a theme that runs through the movie. You can do a bunch of random fights and do all these madcap comic, Saturday morning cartoon stuff in here, but you also have to have this through line. And that's the genius of Guardians, pretty much, if you want to talk James Gunn for James Gunn, is that Quill, like, he, at his core, is a guy who, has had loss in his family. He's grieving, but, so he has that kind of, like, found family thing going all the way through. So even when it gets its most goofy, or even when it gets its most, cynical, or its villain takes over, any of that stuff, you still can come back to... This is who Quill is at his core, and this is what Yondu did for him, and this is what the Guardians do for him. And even like the soundtrack, that's like the callback, it brings him back. It's kind of, the soundtracks are kind of the version of the parents' message in this movie. But then that even gets corrupted. So I wanted just one line to kind of get me through, something to bring us back to the basis of this movie, and I just think it didn't have one.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. But I, before we get carried away, I do want to echo, I thought Mr. Terrific was one of the best parts of the movie.
Scene stealer.
Yeah, scene stealer for him. And I also, again, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner brought some laughs, brought some humor to it, and it worked. So there are a lot of aspects of this movie that work. But again, I had struggled. And again, I came back to work and I'm like, I'm going to be the dickhead today. Yep. I am going to be the dickhead.
Yep.
That is going to sit here and tell people that I think Henry Cavill's a better Superman. And I kind of prefer Man of Steel over this one. And that's the God's honest truth.
Obviously very different.
Very tonally different.
And they're both flawed in very, I think, different ways. But I think maybe at the end of the day, they probably get a very similar score. I don't know. But ultimately, I think because I had more fun with this one, I might prefer this one as time progresses. But I didn't hate Man of Steel. And again, for all my issues with Snyder and the Snyderverse and how all that transpired beyond it, I don't think Man of Steel is that flawed. I just think the villain stuff and the tone and whatever got a little muddied and
Yeah, it's two
dour
totally
and
different
it doesn't
movies, and
work.
and I shouldn't compare it to Man of Steel because again, they're totally different movies tonally and just director's vision for them. But this was more. I will agree with you. This is the more fun one. This is the one where I can rewatch it more and be okay with it.
Right.
But I found myself picking it apart a little bit more after the second viewing of this movie.
See, that's really why when you saw it twice, I wanted to know because I had this feeling. I'm like, oh, well, now that I kind of know where this goes, does it slow down and does it feel better?
And it doesn't feel better
for you.
It kind of it kind of made it worse a little bit.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I will say I did laugh because I do like Jimmy Olsen in this, but I really thought they're going to show that girl's shrimp cocktail toes. I was really hoping they would show the feet, and they never showed the feet.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's for the DVD. So you're gonna have to get the 4K Steelbook to get some weird toe action.
But no, but yeah, I think it is a step in the right direction. I just want him to, like you said, narrow it down, like cut out some of the stuff, and really just focus in on what made this parts of this movie really good. So I don't know.
Yeah, because what's refreshing is that this is not Snyder, right? Like that it is brighter. It's more comic booky and a little more fun and has all these cool characters and has a freaking flying dog and, all that stuff. Which, by the way, I love the addition at the end, too. I don't want to spoil that here, but the extended family starting to come
I don't know how I feel about that either, to be honest with you.
I love that casting. I do.
Oh, see, we disagree there. I hate that casting.
I think she looked great.
I think she looks ridiculous.
Okay. Well, then this might be tougher going forward for you because I assume she's going to have some pivotal role.
No, I know. But maybe she'll grow on me is all I'll say.
Right. But if you want to talk about how the difference between, say, Snyder's version of Superman and this, I also would ask people to kind of, when was the last time they watched the Christopher Reeves Superman 2? Right. Because this might be an age thing. And I know it's hard making superhero movies in a modern age and how we have to kind of cut these things and whatever. This movie just books. It's always moving fast. It rarely slows down and only does probably for Superman and Lois. And that's about it. Otherwise, everything is bang, 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 smash cut, bang, bang, bang. And like we said, filling it up with a ton of characters, tons of like plot angles, and just it's a lot of movie, bang, 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 all in your face. And you couldn't have more of a flip script than watching the Richard Donner movie. Because that movie takes its time and really builds this majesty of Superman. So I think that's why it's so hard to make a good Superman after, because they did the perfect origin to, all the way through stopping Lex Luthor. So, and had, again, fun side characters. Like the fact that there's an Otis and a Miss Tessmacher in here, and I didn't know who they were until I read afterwards that was occurring. I was like, then you fucked up. Because that's bad. But I would say that if you watch the Donner one, the beauty of it, while some people, again, if you put this movie in 2025, people might go, oh, this is so slow. And God, why are we doing so much on the origin story and all this, whatever? I don't know, man. I think it's, a great build that gets you all the way from his trip in to the Midwest stuff, the value set, the, scenes that matter to make him who he is, and then put him into the world that he's in as a grown-up, still trying to figure it out, entering into a relationship or some kind of thing with Lois Lane, and then having to deal with Luthor, having to deal with Kryptonite. It builds and builds and builds. So I think it's a much better movie. It's still the best Superman movie to me, but I would say, like, wow, the flip the script between those three versions of Superman, the first lead-offs before they start making sequels, the three launches of Superman, you couldn't have anything. Oh, and I don't, Sorry. I feel like I'm dismissing Brandon Routh or whatever, that version of Superman. I am, but because I didn't think it was that distinct. If that it felt kind of middle of the road, and that's why people kind of went, eh. So everyone has their different read when it comes to like big time directors trying to do what they got to do.
Right.
But to me, I think the interest I had in here was how different those three are. Even though someone's going to say, "Oh, well, Guns is closer to the original because it's like it's heartwarming or it has it's fun with it," and I'm like, yeah, but it's actually probably the opposite. Like they feel the opposite because of the cutting and the speed and the fact that you don't have the origin, that the mom pa thing doesn't really work. Like that is very much the anti version of the Donner version.
Right. Yeah. Like you said, totally different. And walking out of the movie, we, not everyone, we always compare this to other comic book movies, right?
Sure.
So in my head immediately, as far as DC movies go, and I know people don't kill me, this movie's not part of the DCU, but I thought the Batman was a better movie for sure. So too. And if I had to rank this in the top like MCU movies, like when the MCU was good, it wouldn't be in the top 10. It would be like number 12 to 15. It'd be right where Thor to Guardians 2 is in that minutia of the MCU. It wouldn't come close to cracking the top 10.
I mean, it's definitely not going to beat the top 5. And this is, again, why I kind of went through the Letterboxd scores. Because I'm like, there's got to be... In fact, indulge me for 5 seconds because I didn't do this. I was busy looking at certain other ones. But I wanted to see if this movie at 4.0 is higher than every top-level MCU movie on Letterboxd. Because I'm very curious to see if that's the case. So let's see. Original Guardians 3.8, higher than that. Captain America Winter Soldier 3.7. Infinity War has a 4. The original Iron Man 3.7. The original Avengers 3.7. Endgame 3.9. So you see where I'm going with this? Civil War 3.6. Spider-Man Homecoming 3.5. Beats all of these. Black Panther 3.7. That was an Oscar film. You're telling me this is going to be above those? I don't think so.
I don't think so. And I think people, hey, listen, you like what you like, but I think people got caught up just in the whole James Gunn of the situation, the fact that it's Superman, the fact that it's not Zack Snyder.
Yes.
The fact that, it's a lot different from what, we've seen for Superman. And the fact that I think James Gunn carries, he carries weight and people want to go see James Gunn's movie. Why not?
Yeah.
Like he makes good movies. So I don't want to say people were biased already. I think there are some people who I think it's one of those things where if they came at it like we did and were like, okay, we're going to grade it a good score, but it's not the end all be all.
Right.
I don't think these people are honest with themselves, and I don't think they're being truthful. Just like the Zack Snyder people won't let go of Zack Snyder and like admit that he made a bad movie. He fumbled the ball.
Sure.
So that's where I feel like this movie just got a lot of hype going, and just people are just going to glow about it no matter what.
And I feel like, sorry, I thought you were.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Nope. Yep.
And this is why I wanted to bring back Final Reckoning. Because I feel like when I watched that movie, I wanted to love that movie too.
Yes.
And we obviously know the lineage of that franchise. The director's still the same director. Like everything carries over, so there's no newness in that way. Instead, it's a denouement. It's a finale. So you're just like, this has to be good. And especially it's coming off of a movie we like too, where it's essentially the second half. So you're like, okay, so how can this not be good? And while it has elite moments, we've had our issues with that one too. So it's the same way where I kind of compare them a little bit, where I'm like, I really was overhyped. It didn't make me mad or sad. It has its flaws, but I still ultimately liked enough of it to like give it like, well, I'll just rip off the Band-Aid. Both of these movies I give a 3.5. So I think because when it's at its highest, when it does things right, or when it makes me laugh or get engaged on that level, that's great. But it's not greatness because I've seen greatness from either this character in the past, this director in the past, or whatever, and it's not great.
It's funny. You're gonna laugh. We just literally talked about this off mic, but I think this is a theme with because now we've seen our top three most anticipated movies of the year between 28 years later, Mission Impossible, and Superman. I think our common theme is we wanted to love these movies.
Correct.
And we liked them a lot. We just didn't love these movies.
Exactly. Yeah. And unfortunately, I think we just keep talking about the flaws because the great of this is obvious and also short to say. It's like supporting characters great. The base having a good Superman, a good Lois Lane, and a good Luthor is great going forward. Awesome.
Yeah.
You have to give me a plot that makes sense and is straightforward. Yeah.
Yes. So at the end of the day, we come at this. I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah.
Which is a great score, people. 3.5 is a good score.
To launch a fucking universe? Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a 4.
No.
It's not you know what I mean? Sorry. And so.
Well, we just did our top 5 movies of the year so far, and 4 to us especially is rarefied air because you're talking, what, 4 or 5 films? Like our top 5s were basically the ones that kind of crossed that threshold, and that was it. So
yeah,
it's hard to do. And I don't think this movie, if I had to put where this movie is, it's going to sit right next to Final Reckoning in my rankings. And those movies are out of my top 10, but not by much. But
not by much, but I agree with you. So sorry, people. We're just, we're truth dealers, and sorry. It's a 3.5, man.
With that said, during the movie, my girlfriend was shopping for not only a crypto stuffy, but also a baby alien stuffy. And she found both of them, and they are probably going to be here, and I will be happy to see them. I'm fine with it.
The crypto, yes. The alien baby, no. I wanted to punt that thing into that plasma river and be done with it.
You would have to see the stuffed animal, I think, to change your mind. Because I agree with you. But then I was like, damn, they're selling the baby alien? That's a stretch. And then, but when I saw it there, I was like, all right, I like it.
Okay, so. I'll have to take a look at it. But baby Joey would have been long gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Excellent, man. So now, Shane, we've been teasing this for a long time. We've kind of been saying, we're going to cover TV. We're going to cover this. We're going to, this season, this finale, whatever, for like a while. And then we kind of keep punting it off a little bit. So I'm glad to say that we can kind of get back together here, talk about a few either like season launches or season/series finales, or so we thought. And we'll get to all those permutations. But I wanted to go through a few seasons. We have like 3 or 4 that we're going to cover here. Let's lead off, Shane. You're a Squid Game guy. When you came in, you spent your vacation up here amongst friends and family and all that stuff, and yet you managed to inhale all of season 3 of Squid Game. And I hear the big numbers out of Netflix and people seem to be satisfied. What did you feel about this coming in and then how it executed for you?
Coming in, I was a little nervous because the second season, or whatever they want to call it, I know they season 2 and 3, but it's really one elongated season.
Yeah,
but
so I heard, yeah.
I was a little nervous because season 2 was kind of a down step to me. You got the main character going back to the island to participate in the games again. I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to pronounce any of these people's names. I'm
That's
sorry.
Fine. Yeah.
Number 448 or whatever his name, 484 or whatever. He gets back in there. He spends his money trying to investigate and trying to like turn over these people who are running the Squid Games.
Right.
Season 2 just felt, I don't know, like it just didn't have that excitement when they're going through the games again. You're like, okay. It just didn't draw you in. So I was a little nervous heading into season 3. But man, after that first episode of season 3, they draw you right back in. It was great. Like it was a great way to finish the series. What I found interesting is a lot of the characters that carried over from season 2, once they got back, once they got back into the games and you kind of found out like what was going on, it's like, okay. And some of the games were like really good, especially the hide and seek segment, the jump rope segment. But a lot of the more interesting stuff happened between the games, between the characters. And I thought that was really good, especially like the I don't want to call them FBI, it's the cops trying to find the island. I thought that was really good.
Sure.
I it just drew you in, and it was action. It was tense. Like again, I was watching on vacation, so I'm watching with my daughter and Chris and Mel and everyone, and we're jumping off the couch like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like it was so tension filled. But I will say, like they introduce, I'll say a character, quote,
Yes.
unquote,
Sure.
that had to participate in the games. And for some people, they didn't like it at all. And for those people, I understand it because they took a big swing with this one character development and what she was going through. But at first, I was like, I wasn't on board. But then I was like, you know what? I'm on board, man. Like, okay.
Right.
And I love how, again, this is not a spoiler. I love how they closed it out, but yet gave you a peek of what's coming down the road. And there's a surprise cameo at the end, and I was like, oh shit. All right, let's go. So I am like ready for the next version of Squid Games that's coming out, I think next year already.
So they are they doing more seasons of this particular thing, or is it an offshoot? Is it?
It's an offshoot.
Okay.
It's an offshoot. Like all these characters, their storylines are closed.
Okay.
So you're not getting any more from this version of the Squid Games.
Got it.
It's it's basically in a new place, in a new location that they do show you at the end of this season, or they lead you into it at the end of the season. So it's not a reboot, people. If you read online, it's not a reboot. They're not doing this kind of version. It's pretty much a continuation of the Squid Games, just in a different country altogether.
Right.
So they kind of set up where they have Squid Games going on all over the world, kind of like I hearken it to like Fight Club. Like there's fight clubs in Dallas and Chicago and all these different areas. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. So if you were kind of like, I don't know if I should see season 3 based on season 2, it gets out of that lull really quick and just leads you into like nice grip, tension-filled episodes that you're like just hanging on the edge of your seat. Like, what is going to happen here? So thumbs up for me on the way they closed that out.
That's great. No, I'm encouraged to hear that. I've heard a lot of positive things, so I'm glad you echo that as well. Let's get into The Bear, buddy. We both watched this.
Let's do it.
The tough part, too, is now we obviously watched it pretty close to like, we were ready to cover it when it ended a little bit, and then obviously things got in the way. But since then, they've also announced a season 5, and we thought season 4 was going to be the end. So you're kind of treating it as an end. So you think about it maybe one way. I don't know if you, seeing that there's going to be a season 5, thought about this differently, if this is not entirely how this is going to wrap up. But there's a possibility that this next season also maybe involves none of like certain characters we love, might not be there as much or at all. It might go in a whole new direction. So this is very much up in the air. So until I see like almost like hear like, oh, this person's back and this is the direction they're going to go with, I don't know fully how to feel about it. But taking it as it was, as essentially a possible finale to certain storylines or certain people, how did you take this season in? Because I had similar feelings to season 3, because we talked about how the rumors were out there that Chris Storer, the showrunner for this and the writer, that he kind of had 3 seasons, and they kind of asked him to make it into 4 and to stretch what he was thinking and kind of make 2 seasons out of 1 season's worth of an idea. And I still feel like I felt that going into season 4, but I also felt there were as good or better highs in this one and a little more consistent. So I didn't complain about it as much. But it also helps that this is the end, not the beginning of those things. But I still believe that there is a much better season if you kind of like took a few episodes or a bunch of stuff out of each season and smash them together. I could see where that's probably a damn fine season.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, a couple thoughts. I did overall enjoy this more than season 3.
Yeah.
Like you said, I thought the episodes were a little more consistent. And again, the highs were really high. And and I understand how some people kind of like get turned off because the repetitive nature of this show. It's like, how many times can you go through this situation? How many times can this happen? How many fires do you got to put out all the time?
Yeah.
I understand it. And initially, I did not like the way season 4 ended.
I was mixed.
I was mixed because then I found out about season 5, and part of me was like, someone had to know there was like they were going to get greenlit for season 5, because then why would they end season 4 the way they did? But then upon which we do further reflection of the episode, if there was no season 5, I think I would have been very content with the way season 4 ended.
Same.
Because the way he mended his relationship with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep.
The way he mended his relationship with Richie, I found that more moving than actually him with Jamie Lee Curtis for some reason. So those relationships getting mended, and throwing the Claire Bear storyline that gets kind of mended as well.
100%.
I thought the emotional toll of or just impact of those episodes and just those relationships coming together, I think that's all I needed to see at the end of season 4, which was what they did. So, and they leave you with a plan of what they have going forward. So I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, okay, this person's doing this, he's going to do this. And everyone's, you know what I mean? So I changed my mind. I was like, okay, like that works as a series finale or a season finale. It kind of went both ways for me at the end of the day. So I really did enjoy this season. I thought, like, again, I liked the goodbye episode. I thought that was great. There was probably one or two episodes that I wasn't jiving with, like the whole, was it Worms? Where it was just the episode where she, one episode with Sydney, I was kind of like lukewarm on is the whole, when she's getting her hair did and she's,
I disagree. I like that episode a lot.
See, I was okay on that episode.
It told me a lot about her, and I think a lot of times you don't get a lot of like her where she's grounded and calm, because how many times have we seen, even just in this season, the freak out she has about her dad, or the freak outs in other parts of her world that aren't the restaurant. And then you get the restaurant version of her, and you get, I think it pairs well with, to use the bear, of course, it pairs well with her being this kind of mentor character that they kind of lead with that thought in this season of how she would be the person. She is the bear. She's the thing going forward, that she has this thing. And so I thought it was nice to see out of the restaurant context something that she is or should believe in there. Plus it's found family versus actual kind of family, or the people you choose to have in your life. So I liked kind of see an out of context version. But if you told me that was one of those episodes that wasn't a part of like the original concept of like that third season that would have ended it or whatever, I would believe you. But I think that version of an added episode where it's kind of a bottle episode for a character, which they're known for, those two, like your Forks and your whatever, like those type of things. I think this works in that effectiveness for a character study or a deeper look at a character. Yeah,
I could see that. And how many times, I can't believe how many times I forgot Josh Hartnett is in this show once in a while.
That wedding, can we just talk about the wedding?
We can talk about the wedding.
That's incredible television. That is is borderline mini movie where the whole under the table thing, the conversations that are had, the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis is there, like every character is there. It's a perfect episode to just bring everybody in, try to get to the heart of everybody's conflicts in a way, or at least always do these little touches of it. And that picture, the family moment under there, the solving, even though some of it feels a little put on to be like, let's go around the circle, whatever, I just didn't care at that point, because that's just damn good television. And every season, I don't know if that was like your favorite of it, but I think between that and the reconciliation with his mom is like the two thing. Like you can't say that this season was bad or a failure or any of those things if you could take those things away. That is elite Bear content in those two things.
It is. It was like the Bears. I think it's called The Bears was my favorite episode for sure.
Yeah.
I even like the conversation Carmi had with Bob Odenkirk's character.
Huge.
Like that whole conversation in the kitchen was huge and perfect.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And you again, that's like top notch. And we get an appearance by Brie Larson, who wasn't in any other episodes, right?
My least favorite thing about the whole thing. I literally was asking people, I'm going around to people, I'm like, why the fuck is she preoccupied with this? I don't remember any of this storyline. Who is she to anybody? Their confrontations are terrible conversations that are just filler that they feel. Sometimes the Bear is like, oh, right, we're still listed as a comedy. Let's try to have some comedy moments. And then they just don't work sometimes. And you just go, ugh, it just kills me. So those were probably the worst part of that episode to me. And yeah, that's
I was just surprised to see her, I guess. Like, I'm like, they got Brie Larson for this?
Yeah,
like,
I did the stupid IMDb
like,
thing where I scanned and I saw she was in it. I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, but like you said, I was like going like, did I miss an episode where...
Yeah, that's why it happened.
What
I thought whoever this character had to be in this show previously and was not.
Was not, right? But overall, too, I like Richie's character building during this season. And I wanted him to really get together with the staff member he hired.
Yeah.
They had that moment where he was fixing her tie.
Loved it.
And stuff. I love that moment.
Yeah.
I just love Richie as a whole in this season. The other character I really like Marcus. I'm sorry, I'm a big Marcus guy.
I'm happy for him when he gets his moment at the end. Absolutely.
Yeah, when he got his moment, because everyone, and I'm sure you thought the same thing. I thought it was going to be Sydney when they got the up and coming chef. I thought for sure, and I think that's the way they set it up. It was going to be Sydney,
right?
But no, it was Marcus. He got his time to shine too. I like William Poulter.
Love having him back.
He was great. He was great.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he was helping out, I forgot, the Hispanic chef, trying to get her time down and all that. Every scene he was in, he was so great. He was funny.
He's a cheat code for that whole season because he could just kind of be the guy who's a little bit out of, like, fish out of water. He's like in, but he's not in with everybody. So he can kind of recalibrate who each character is and where they are and help them out while being just this charming British guy.
Yeah. British guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was it was a bounce back from season 3. And it was, like you said, it was consistent. And yeah, I just love how they wrapped up some of these storylines with Carmi and just what his issues are and what he needs to work on. And I just like the fact that they were highlighting what he needs to work on. And now he's self-aware of, like, he's trying to change. He's trying to do these things. But it's a process, and it was just nice to see. So I don't know where they go for season 5, like you were kind of alluding to. Is certain characters going to be in it more? Are they going to hand it off to whatever? I also like the side story with the whole shop, the beef shop becoming like the big thing that's making them money.
Even though sometimes I was like, okay, Rob Reiner's a little much here. I did like it at times, though. I still came and complaining about it as a whole. But when him and the computer were talking, I was like, this feels like I'm out of my body. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. I love the computer, and I love Oliver Platt and the computer together. Like, they're so freaking funny.
Yeah.
Like, the part where he's trying to get him, he's like, hey, you got to listen to this idea. And he's like, suck my balls. And Rob Reiner's like, that's a good offer.
Just beeping the horn, just like, get the fuck in the car, get the fuck in the car.
Yeah, he's like, that's a good offer. But no, I'm glad they had a bounce back. And not that season 3 was bad. It was just uneven. And I think they evened this season out a little bit. So thumbs up for me on the Bear. And
the big question, because we went through our top 5s and we were like, this is incomplete or this hasn't happened yet. We purposely kind of did it before the Bear so we didn't have to rush it. Is this a top 5 show for you for the year? This season? No.
Nope.
Interesting. I realized I just asked that question and don't realize what my 5 was to like see if it even jumps in. I definitely can't say it's number 1. That's an easy one for me. I would say, because, Department Q, I just had such a great time with that show and that season. And it's kind of a cheat to be like, it's the first season of something and it's like it's like everything. Like the first season of The Bear is like a perfect thing too.
Right.
So I wonder where it would fall for me. I think it would have gotten the top 5. I just don't know if it would be high.
Now, objectively, let me backtrack a little bit. Objectively, just because I wanted to give this show its shine. If I was being honest with myself, yeah, I would probably put it in over The Righteous Gemstones because it's a better show than The Righteous Gemstones. It's just 2 totally different shows and 2 different genres. So,
right.
Well, The Righteous Gemstones is an actual comedy, people, where The Bear says it's a comedy and is not a comedy. But yeah, it would be my number 5. Like it wouldn't be Your Friends and Neighbors or Paradise or Reacher or Adolescence. It would be.
I think I would put this 5. In over Reacher.
Okay.
And I think Reacher was like maybe my number 5 or somewhere 4 or 5. So
it was your number. Yeah.
So, and if I followed Shane's laws of how we do top 5 lists, you have to have a season completed before you put it in the top 5. Then that would take my Poker Face out too, which we'll get to in a second.
Would. Yes,
it
would.
So then Bear would have snuck in there too. But like, yeah, now that they both finish, it's like now I feel like I have to comment on both of them because you are not caught up, sir, with Poker Face, and I think I put it at number 3. On my list, I want to say.
Yeah, you had it either 3 or 2.
Yeah, it was pretty high up because I was enjoying myself. And the way this season ends, it's a 2-episode thing, which they've never really done, where it's a 2-episode season finale. And they're tied together, and there's a bigger foe, more than even like her usual thing. So that was new. So it was all very new. So I'm still processing. But I will say I definitely liked how they did it and who the person was and how they wrapped it all in. I do struggle. We've talked about this before. My preference, and I think yours too, where I like the more individualized episode where she kind of comes in and out and then we figure it out from there. But to have something that is not only a carryover to be continued thing that two parts, 2 episodes of a 12-episode season or whatnot. I don't know if I love that, but again, like the highs of the season, I do have to say I really enjoyed myself. So it would probably stick in the position it's in at least.
Okay.
I know you're not there, but I'm curious how you feel about it. Yeah.
I'm a little behind, but I really am enjoying the season so far. Like I just got done with episode 9, which is A New Lease on Death. So I only got 3
Who's
more. Who's
in that one?
That's
not Method Man, right?
No.
That's 10.
That's Aquafina.
Oh, love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was a great one. The Sleazy Georgian I really liked.
Yeah. I don't think I've hated any of them. Or like I thought one was like a misstep.
No, I would say my least favorite, and I don't mean to like take you down or like disagree with you, but like the Whack-A-Mole, which was John Mulaney, I didn't care much for that one at all.
I liked. I don't know if it's because I love John Mulaney so much, but I've talked to other people who watch the show and they really like that one too.
And I think the problem was, and you even alluded to the problem with previous episodes, but you threw your rule away for this one.
I know.
I didn't like the Rhea Perlman. Yeah, I didn't like the past characters. I just didn't care. Like, I just wanted to move forward to like her new adventures and new cases. And
I think the reason why it passes that is because Richard Kind and John Mulaney are 2 new characters, and they are the best part of that episode.
Yeah. But if I had to nitpick and pick a episode I didn't care much for, that would be it.
Okay. I mean, listen.
But it's a strong
lot of them
season. Great.
Off the top of my head, I would probably say if the weakest episode that maybe I thought of off the top of my head is like, say, the Katie Holmes one with Giancarlo Esposito. I'm like, even that has like great visuals and like a good conceit. So like, okay, that's fine. But even then, I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. So like, it's still good. Actually, you know what? The Kumail Nanjiani one, that's the low point to me. That's
the Gator.
The Gator.
Yeah.
I thought that one was weak.
Yeah, it was okay.
But again, middle of the season, throw it away and just keep rocking. That's fine. But Other than that, strong season. Very strong season. Really liked a lot of the cameos or the day players, as it were, for the episode. So it still rocks, and I can't wait for them to do a season 3. The problem is that the same thing where my complaint about, like, you know, characters carrying over or doing whatever. We find at the end of this one, is it going to start with a different thing? How's it going to work out? There's certain loose ends. So that's, again, my least favorite part about this show. So we'll see how they reconcile it and go from there. Real quick, you did Sandman 2 with Netflix. That's going to wrap up with a second part later, but you watched the first part. How's it kicking off? Because I haven't gotten to it yet.
I haven't read a lot of reviews on this season, but I enjoy it. It's a very slow burn. Like, it's just a lot of story.
Was the first. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, very slow burn. And the funny thing is, I forgot the whole season 1. Like, I forgot most of the plot points of season 1.
I did too. And I think that's what's dragging my feet to get to this one.
They even do a quick recap of season 1 before the season starts off, and I still don't remember some of the stuff that happened.
Yeah.
With that being said, this season, or at least these 6 episodes, kind of, I don't want to say don't have anything to do with season 1. There's a little carryover, but honestly, you don't necessarily have to see all of season 1 to get season 2, because they're totally different storylines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as slow as they are, I just love the world which Netflix built for this show.
Yeah. Sure.
Production value you can see is there. I love Tom Sturridge as Dream. I love where it's going. You get more of him diving into his family dynamic in this season.
Yeah, which they kind of ended with last season, right?
So they do pick up from that. You know, you get a little Lucifer Morningstar in the first 2 episodes.
Right.
He's got to deal with that. Then he helps his sister out trying to find their lost brother. So I like that journey. I like some of the characters they brought in. I just like the world which they set. So as slow as it is, I'm loving these episodes, man.
Yeah.
So thumbs up for me on the first 6. The next 6 are actually dropping July 24th.
Yeah.
So
hoping to catch up by then, so maybe we could do like a in total thing.
Yeah, because Netflix announced there's no season 3. So
yeah. I think it's an expensive show for them that just didn't get the ratings. And by the way, I want to give a sincere apology that because I accidentally left off my true, I think, number 5 top TV show, The Residence, from Netflix, that I left it off my top 5 by accident, and then they canceled it. So I believe I am solely responsible for the fact that
you should carry that burden, Andrew.
I do.
It's your fault.
I do. It's one of those, like, I wish somebody else, another streamer, would pick this show up and just do it, but I don't think they can, because they have like a Shondaverse. It's a Shondaverse show, and they have like all this stuff tied in. And who does that? No one ever picks up a Netflix show and goes with it.
No.
But man, of all the shows that I think is a repeatable good thing, I would steal that in a heartbeat if I'm like Peacock or somebody.
We've talked about it before. The only show that I know has been picked up that was a Netflix show was School Spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, right? I did read the reason why Netflix canceled the show, and you can tell the high production costs for this show.
Sure.
And then I also read where they kind of ran out of Neil Gaiman's material from the comics. They didn't really have a story fleshed out for season 3. There wasn't enough material in there. Now, is that an excuse? Maybe. I think it has more to do with the production costs.
Because, listen, I wish I can grab it. It's upstairs in my house, but I have literally the complete Sandman, and it's this freaking thick, and it's, chunk of everything. The problem is, I think with Dream specifically, or certain, like, the characters that they're in the universe they're working in, I think that might be a big turn to do another set of seasons or something. And again, like you said, it's very expensive. They had to build these elaborate sets. They have all these things. It's a lot. So yeah, I do feel bad. I have a friend who edits the show. If you remember, I had my friend.
We had him on the podcast.
Yeah, we had him on the podcast. So it's cool that he got to come back for the second season, and he'll land on his feet. But I was like, oh, this would be cool, like just a continuing thing that works out. So yeah. So bummer that good people who make good work won't get another season out of it, but yeah, I'm glad that they were able to kind of make this work for a second season. Because there was a thought like this is very expensive, and then Neil Gaiman got dragged online for certain,
right.
I don't want to dip into anybody's social stuff or whatever. If you're not brought up on charges, but you're being brought up in the pool of society or whatever, judging you and turning on you. I know. Listen, I'm a huge Neil Gaiman person. I didn't like seeing it. It made me feel bad about, kind of being really into him. And I know a lot of people who are big Neil Gaiman fans said the same. So I thought Sandman was in jeopardy for that, but they were probably in too deep at that point to do that. But again, if it's ending, like however many people are watching it, the true fans will watch it or whatever and go from there.
Yeah, and you should watch. I mean, whatever. I think this season 2 is worth a look if you enjoyed season 1.
Sure. Yeah. Excellent. Because I will check that out. I'm looking forward to that. For next week, we are looking at a little bit of a slower week, kind of like in terms of, we've been hitting blockbuster, big TV show. This week is the two movies that I know I'm probably going to catch are the I Know What You Did Last Summer rebootquel, whatever, straight sequel.
Sure.
And then Eddington, the new Ari Aster, is coming out as well. I know, I hated most of the trailers, and then I see like almost like the small like commercial, like 30-second ones, and they show a little more action, whatever. And I'm like, man, that cast with that kind of explosiveness, it might be good, but it's also, I think, like 2.5 hours long. And I'm like,
it is 2 hours and 40 minutes long, buddy.
Yeah. So
and you know what?
Give it a shot.
Ari Aster, you're not getting me again. You got me with Hereditary. You can go fuck yourself. I'm not seeing this movie.
And Hereditary is like the quick banger. Like it's not Beau is Afraid or any of these other ones that like you have to take longer time with. But yeah, so those are the two big ones coming out this week as they were. And then I want to give a shout out. I did it again, Shane, where I during Friday the 13th, what was that, last month? June?
Yeah.
I did the watch Friday the 13th in the woods in like a campsite kind of a thing, outdoor movie screening event put on by the Milford Horror people here in my local community. And that was awesome. And then they did it again where we watched I Know What You Did Last Summer on the docks last night.
Oh, cool.
And that was very cool. They even hired a person to come as a guy in a slicker with a hook, taking pictures of them and stuff. So I'll probably post those on my social or the Recent Activity social soon. So be sure to follow us on the socials at Recent Act Pod. Be sure to do that. Be sure to subscribe so you can hear our thoughts. Because now I'm like, I'm very fresh on the original. I still have not watched I Still Know What You Did Last Summer ever. So I might watch that this week. I know, but I kind of want to be a completist. So I might do that before I watch that movie on, I'm thinking Thursday night or for that one. So yeah, it's probably going to happen.
Okay. All right. Well, a little known fact that people may have forgotten or don't even know, but that was a very young Jack Black in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, no, I didn't know he was in that one. So
he certainly is.
Excellent.
He certainly is.
All right. So yeah, so I'm gonna catch that one. I already have tickets for Eddington for Friday morning, so I'm gonna check that one out too. So you don't have to, I guess, if you want.
I appreciate
so
you.
that way we can do that. Andrew. Sure. But you guys out there, be sure to come back and listen to all our thoughts, including Shane going, I don't care how good it is, I'm not watching it when it probably turns into Eddington. But that's how we do. That's how we do around here. So again, come back. Don't miss a word. Be sure to be here next week for more Recent Activity.